Hello there, beautiful soul, and welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another tutorial, and tonight we're going to talk all about how you can create that beautiful water effect. I will take you through some tips and tricks on how you can go about coloring a lake or ocean with that really nice sun reflections. You guys have been so beautiful requesting another talking tutorial, and I'm so happy to be back with another video. I'm so excited to be doing another tutorial, and I can't wait to do this page with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get into coloring. So before we get into today's new tutorial, I want to take a moment to thank each and every single one of you beautiful souls. You all warm my heart so much. Thank you to all of you that have been writing me so nice comments the last couple of weeks. I am just so positively overwhelmed by the feedback that you guys have been giving me on my talking tutorials. That just makes me so happy that you love them so much and that you find it so calming and so exciting to follow along. It's just a dream come true to me, and something that I would have never seen coming when I started this little series. And it's so exciting because for me to be able to just sit down and chat with you guys just makes me so happy. And it's been a little minute since we've had a sit down chatting together. It's been a couple of weeks since the last tutorial I did, so that makes me so excited to be back with another talking tutorial. That just means the world to me, and I want you to know that I appreciate your love and excitement for what I do so much. I have to truly daily pinch myself that I get to share this with all of you, and you are just the most beautiful, uplifting, kind-hearted community that I could have ever have wished for. And I'm so excited that you're here for tonight's new tutorial, where we will be talking a lot more in depth about how you could go about coloring water. There's obviously a lot of different ways that you could go about coloring water. And I love this video so much because it gives me just a chance to sit down and chat with you guys a little bit more and just talk about what we're doing when we're doing it. And it's super exciting because there's always so many thoughts running through my mind when I sit down and color, and it's just really cool to be able to share them with you and do this little coloring session together while we're chatting about different topics. And if there's any topic that you would love for me to do a tutorial on, a specific dedicated tutorial, please don't hesitate to let me know down in the comments. I'm writing them all down in my little note for future video ideas, and it's just so helpful when you guys tell me what you would like to learn more about. So in today's video we will go a little bit more in depth about how you can go about coloring water. And there's obviously a lot of different ways that you can go about coloring water, depending on if it's a lake or the ocean, if it's kind of like this tropical scene, or like in the woods, kind of like here. The way that you choose to color water can help convey a completely different feeling. So if you want that warm, summery beach vibe, there's one specific way that you can go about doing that to help convey that feeling when you look at the picture. And then there could be a completely different way for you to color a sunset on the ocean, or like here, a little lake. So we'll be talking about one of these many options that you can add to your little arsenal of knowledge, so that when you sit down to do a coloring page, you just have a lot of sources to pull from. And that's what I love so much about coloring. It's all about just expressing that creative power that we all have inside of us. So it all turns out beautifully and uniquely you, no matter how you color it. And that's what I love so much about coloring. So we will be talking today and coloring together a specific technique that you could use, for example, when you're coloring a lake like this. So we have a lot of cute things going on here with the little bear and doggo on the canoe on a little lake. So I want to make this scene super cute and very moody, like this cozy atmosphere of being on the water. You see that there's a sunset going on here, so we could play a little with where the highlight comes on the water, and we will talk about everything. So I've already prepared what colors we will be using in this video, and it's all gonna be different hues of blue. Some blues will have a little more yellow tone to it, like this horizon green, which is one of my absolute favorite blue hues. I use this one a lot in my videos, you might have noticed. And what we're going to do is we're going to gradually build, going from frost blue over to green horizon or horizon green, and then we're gonna build the colors to create that really nice blue depth. In this little tutorial we will be coloring in this little cute lake right here, and I really hope that you can take something valuable away from this video, so that when you color a lake or water, even if you don't color it exactly like this, you have a new technique which you can use to implement in different ways and add different colors depending on what time of day it is, where the sun is standing, what kind of image it is. It's all about just letting that imagination run free. So what I like to do is to, whenever I do a sunset or water like this, is to lay the colors out already beforehand, to really have the possibility of going pretty seamless, because when you're blending anything you want to go pretty quickly between the colors. So I usually don't plan too much ahead, but with any water or any sunset I like to pick the colors in advance, and sometimes I might go out on a strand and choose some different colors when necessary, but then I know in what direction I planned on using them. So if you have been following along in some of my other tutorials, you will know that I like to just have a quick look at the picture before I start, to just really look what's going on. So we have our little canoe friends on the water here. We have a sunset or a sunrise that is happening, and that would of course cause some highlights on the water, which is gonna look super cute. And some things that I like to think about when, for example, you're working with water which has a lot of reflection and sunlight reflection, is that the part of the water that will have highlights, or in this case how we're going to do it today, will have the brighter part of the ocean, will always be between you and the light source. So it really helps to give it that realistic image that when you look at it, your entire soul and brain is gonna be able to translate the picture very quickly and not be like, okay, there's something wrong here. And not be like, okay, this looks off. So in this case the sun is here and we're standing, like our point of view will be from circa somewhere around here. So our lightest area on the water will be this wider section right here. So we'll be working with a lighter blue and then just have it go a little darker as we transition out of the picture. And I really love this because when I started out coloring, I would just go for a solid color and leave it at that. I did that for the sky. I just made it completely black, one color. And with water too, I think one of my first videos in the spooky book, I had a water too where I just made it completely blue. And once I started playing with, for example, the sunset, with blending or doing the water a little more vibrant and maybe a little bit more true to nature and how water really looks like in real life, I became completely addicted to it. So you might have seen that in a lot of my videos. I really got obsessed with coloring sunset there for a while, and it just goes to show that I was so hesitant to embark upon a sunset or embark upon a water with different colors because I was just a little scared if I was going to get it right. And once I took that leap into daring to just go for it, I was completely obsessed. So I just want to encourage you, when you're sitting there and thinking, oh, I'm a little intimidated by blending or adding more than one color to an area, just go for it. I am there with you in your corner. Just go for it because it's so much fun. And lately I'm just really enjoying coloring water a lot. I did the tropical water one with with the summer beach, which I loved so much, and coloring the water on the lake. It's just so much fun and something I think about a lot. So I was really excited to do this tutorial with you. So without further ado, let's grab our markers, get all cozy. I hope you have something nice to drink and a nice cozy light or blanket. It's getting a little warmer now. So a blanket is most probably not necessary anymore, but I'm so excited that you're here and we're gonna do something really cool. I'm very excited. So starting off with Frost Blue, we're just gonna start by creating that the brightest part of the water that will be around here. So the sunlight, and where we were looking, if you would imagine standing at the ocean, the line of highlights will always be from you. You will always be the center of that highlight. So we're gonna do the same thing around here. So what I really like to do when it comes to water is to keep the brush strokes pretty light and don't care too much about necessarily filling each part of the water, because anything that stays white, you can just, it will be highlights. And I really like using this back and forth technique. It most probably looks super funny, but it helps make the impression of that water texture, because the water will have so many different waves, and we want to keep it pretty centered around that one ray of light that we talked about. And don't worry too much about keep making it perfect, because anyway it's gonna look really good when we keep it a little messy. And we will add the shadows to these cute little duckies afterwards anyway, so we don't have to care for that too much either. Oh, this looks so cute. I've been so looking forward to doing this tutorial with you. That's so cool. So it's all about just continue to go until it looks how you want it. There's really not that much right and wrong you can do at this point. That's what's so cool about the water effect. It's really just going with the flow. And it already looks like this gloomy sunset boat ride. So we anyways will blend the edges out with the next color, so I would like to put it a little further out than it will actually be at the end, like that. Cool. And you already see, wait, I'm I'm zooming in. You already see that although we just have one color, you have a lot of action going on here. So it already looks like it has different levels of the water. This will obviously be a little less visible as the ink will dry. But we're going to continue in the same way with the next color, which is Horizon Green. I'm going to add a little bit of that yellow touch to the water, like this yellow green, green blue, sorry. And now we're going to keep in mind that this section will stay pretty bright, and we're just going to add this color to the outskirts. So you just want to keep on with that light strokes. And what I love so much about adding this yellow green, it gives it this really cool lake feeling to it. Because the water there is obviously not just completely crystal blue. So it really adds this cool effect to it. And because you're using that brush technique, it adds different pressure depending on where you are on the page. So you will already with just one color have that different nuances of light and dark. That looks so cool. It's already coming together really cool. So we're just going to continue that on this side. And you want to bring like some streaks here and there pretty far in, but keep the block of where you keep that color to that same streak here in the middle. And obviously too, you could argue that it gets a little bigger closer that it comes to you rather than the opposite. But it really helps to, you could use references from nature when you do this to just get a little ideas of where the light hits, because your brain obviously has an idea, but it's sometimes a little hard to translate that into the page. That is so cool. Oh my god. I love this so much. I'm just so in love with the ocean. I'm from Norway, so the sea and the ocean is basically my second home. It's just something so freeing and so beautiful about water, and to be in water is just such a good feeling. I love coloring water. It just makes me feel so free. And you can basically try out a lot of different colors in this technique, and all the colors you choose really helps convey that different feeling that you're trying to create. And the more pressure you put on the brush, the darker the color will come out. So really alternating in your wrist between more and light pressure really helps create that dynamic look. That looks so cool. So I think we're gonna take a break from this color now, and then are gonna go back with the frost blue and just blend a little bit the edges. So here you can go into and color where you've left some white marks and make the transition between the two colors a little more seamless. And what you're also doing, you're adding a little bit more blue to that very green blue. So I really like this step to make it just really nice and seamless. And what you can do too is just add some strokes in the blue that you already did, because that will then be double the color and end up being a little darker. I'm just going in. I don't think too much obviously when I'm coloring, so sometimes a little hard to explain it, but just go with what feels good. And I think I start by just adding a little bit of frost blue to those areas that I left white, and also it just adds a little bit more blue, because here you see a good example. It's just really like this very turquoise green, but when you add that little bit of blue, it just helps it look a little bit more like actual water. Like that. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my god, I love it. So, and now we have the next color, which will then be a little bit darker, but in the same kind of blue tone that we've been going for here. So it's the pastel blue. So you could basically go however dark you prefer with a picture like this. Like you can build and build and make the edges really nice and dark to give it that really nice deep waters lake kind of feeling. So, but I will keep it pretty bright in this one. The next color would be then pastel blue, and we're just gonna, because when you look at the ocean, the further you go away from the angle that you're looking at, it would get a little darker, because the light and the daylight or the sun is what makes the surface of the water shine. So we're gonna do the edges now with the pastel blue, and I just like to bring it in just a little further, but like in different sections. So it's not necessarily just one brick of this color, but kind of like transitioning nicely over in the other colors. And you see it has this really nice blue tone to it that just plays very beautifully with the other two colors. And you don't have to be too scared if you accidentally color some of these objects here. It's nothing we can't fix later. And again, it's not really that bad if you leave some brighter sections, because you can just fill those in later with the previous color. like that. I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. You can really just pull this one out or in as far as you please. It's looking pretty cool already, I have to say. So I'm gonna go in with the previous color, which was the Rising Green, and just blend that as well a little together where necessary. So we're gonna continue. That was the cloud blue that we did before, and now we're gonna go to the darkest shade in this picture, which is the Marine Blue PB11. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna add a little bit of this to the edges and some places within the picture. Going in with this one, we're gonna start, I think, around the edges. And it's just really cool how that adds this really nice depth to the picture. I'm just gonna go in with the previous color, the cloud blue, and just blend it in a little. That it already looks super dramatic, but we love ourselves a dramatic page, don't we? So, and this is always gonna get a little brighter as it dries, but I already love how that comes together, and you really see, if I wouldn't have blended this, the transition would have just been too harsh. And now you have this really nice transition between the bright and the dark. So since we don't have that much space on the other side, I will just go in with the cloud blue and see how far we come. I might have skipped the cloud blue, come to think about it, on the other side, which made the transition very dark. But made it work. So I'm gonna go in again with the first blue, so with the little far here, and just blend it without making it too dark, since the first blue is pretty bright. Cool. That is really cool. So we could add a little bit of marine blue to the other side, just to make it a little balanced, but not too much. Just like that. So I'm gonna choose the cloud blue because it's pretty dark but not too dark, to create some very nice shadows for these different elements. So we have our little duckies here that will obviously cast a little shadow. And you don't have to necessarily be all too scientific about this shadow. It's just adding a little bit will help your brain understand what is happening, and that these objects would cast a shadow. That looks super cool. So the little otter here, I love this one so much. And of course, the higher the object, like these duckies, they will cast, because the sun is standing this low, they will cast a longer shadow than, for example, the otter or this little leaf that is very flat. And add some just like that. And you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to get too scientific, because if you would be absolutely correct on this one, the bear here would cast that much shadow that will most probably cover most of this area. But that's exactly what we want to portray in this case, the nice beautiful water. So I wouldn't mind that too much. I will go over this area a little here to make all of that a little bit more realistic. I'm going to use the pastel blue and just make this little, to have a little transition within this little area. Is going to look super cool. And then maybe a little bit more horizon green in the middle. That is so cool. I'm just gonna go with the cloud blue and just blend the area where I added a little darker hues, so that each brush stroke is not necessarily that visible. And I could go in again here now to just blend the shadow with the frost blue a little bit more. Like that. That looks so cool. I'm loving it so much. So the last detail that I would add to this picture now would be some highlights. And since we have water here, it is our perfect opportunity to add a lot of nice wet highlights. So the way I would go about this is to keep them centered around the highlighted area the most, with sprinkling it a little bit off to the sides. So I'm going to take this Signal Gel highlighter that I absolutely love using. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some highlights here and there. There's really no method to the madness here. I'm just adding them here and there. Gives it that nice touch to the water. I just feel like that adds the truly magical thing about water when you watch it, because it has always that nice reflection from the sun. Oh, that looks so cute. I'm so curious how your page is coming along. It's really just continuing until you like it. Just adding little bits of highlights here and there. It just really makes it come truly alive. I guess there's no harm in adding a little bit here too. And I think that's it. And just like that, we have ourselves a cute little lake. Oh, I love that so much. I'm so excited that we did that. Oh, it looks so cute. It's what I truly love about coloring. You can just create this complete world out of your imagination, and it will always end up truly uniquely to you, no matter how you color it, and no matter what colors you choose. It will always be a reflection of the soul inside. Oh, that looks so cute. I love that, and these little duckies and the otter. He's so happy. And I would love to continue this page together with you guys in the next tutorial. Maybe there could be a couple of other cool topics that we can talk about to finish this rest of the page. So thank you so much for watching this little water tutorial. I hope you had fun, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you could pick up some little tips and tricks for your coloring journey that you can use in the next pages that you will color. As I said, this is just one way to color water. There's a million ways that you could go about, and maybe this inspires you to try a little bit new and different techniques to help make that really nice, cute, realistic effect. If you would like for me to talk a little bit more in depth about how you could go about coloring tropical water, like on a beach or in the warmer hemisphere, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to do that if that's something that you would find interesting. And if there's anything else that you would love for me to talk a little bit more in depth about, something that you need help with, or just a little inspiration how you could color a certain thing, please let me know in the comments. I just love so much chatting with you guys in the comments, and I always find it both hilarious and so interesting what we all experience in this little coloring journey that we're on. I want to thank you so much for watching this video and for being there. Your love and support means the world to me, and it makes me so excited to create these videos for you guys. I can't wait to color these little ducklings, they're so cute. So I wish you a beautiful night where you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!